MacAskill was born in 1825, on the Isle of Buna, in the Sound of Harris, Scotland. He was the fourth of 10 children of average-sized parents. As a baby, Angus was so small he was not expected to survive. When he was 6, Angus's parents and their children were cleared from their land and forced to emigrate to the New World, where they settled in St. Anne's, Cape Breton. MacAskill started growing fast in his adolescence, and by the time he turned 22, he stood 7 feet 9 inches, with over 500 pounds in body weight. When he was just 14 years old, he got into an altercation with the grown man, and delivered a punch to his jaw that sent the man flying. The blow rendered the man unconscious for so long that he was believed to be dead. In adulthood, MacAskill stood 7 feet 10 inches tall, and weighed 580 pounds. His shoulders measured an otherworldly 44 inches wide, the palm of his hand was nearly a foot wide, and his shoes measured 19 inches in length. Despite his impressive strength, MacAskill was hardly someone to be feared. He was reportedly soft-spoken with a musical voice, deep blue eyes and a mild-mannered attitude. In his home community he was affectionately known as Big Boy, and to others he was known simply as the Cape Breton Giant. During his lifetime, MacAskill was known for his incredible feats of strength. These displays began well before he entered into exhibition, and mainly manifested from MacAskill showing off, while doing daily chores. While in New Orleans or New York, accounts differ, Angus MacAskill was challenged by some French sailors to lift an anchor on the harbor side. It has been estimated that this weighed between 2,200 pounds and 2,700 pounds. He lifted the anchor successfully, but as he dropped it, he was seriously injured by one of its flukes. Some of the stories about him, inevitably, grew in the telling, and today it is difficult to know what he was actually capable of. It was said that he was known to carry barrels weighing over 300 pounds under each arm, was able to single-handedly set a 40-foot mast into a schooner deck, and was also known to lift a full-grown horse over a 4-foot fence. His pinch strength was extraordinary too, as he could take a 100 pounds weight using only 2 fingers, and hold it at arm's length for full 10 minutes. Eventually, P.T. Barnum heard about Angus MacAskill, so in 1849, when MacAskill was 24, Barnum offered him a place in his traveling show. At the height of his performance career, Queen Victoria heard about MacAskill's impressive size and strength, and invited him to come to perform for her at Windsor Castle. He complied, and in turn delighted the Queen, who was indeed in awe of him. In thanks, she presented him with 2 gold rings to take with him on his travels. For the next several years, MacAskill toured the country with Barnum's circus, eventually traveling to then exotic parts of the world like Asia and the West Indies. Throughout his travels he gained fame for standing alongside Barnum's smallest attraction, a man called General Tom Thumb, who stood just 3 feet, 4 inches. When standing next to each other, the 2 men's extreme heights were even more pronounced, resulting in increased wonder from the audience. After a show business career demonstrating his size and strength in Europe and North America, MacAskill returned to his home community of Englishtown, and purchased a grist mill, and several other real estate holdings, as well as a general store. In the summer of 1863, during a trip to Halifax, Nova Scotia, to buy more stock for his store, Angus MacAskill fell suddenly and seriously ill. After being taken to his parents' home, where his childhood bed had been refitted to accommodate his height, he passed away from what doctors referred to as brain fever. Today, a grave marker worthy of his massive size stands at his grave, on Cape Breton Island in Nova Scotia. Several items from his home, including an oversized bed frame, are on display at a museum in the area, serving as a reminder of the man Queen Victoria called the tallest, stoutest and strongest man to ever enter the palace. In 1981, the Guinness Book of World Records recognized MacAskill as the largest true giant to have ever lived, the strongest man who ever lived, and the man with the largest chest measurements of any non-obese man. The distinction of his status as a true giant hinges on the fact the Angus was purported to be free of any growth abnormalities. His stature was proportional in every way, and his immense size and strength was due only to his natural genetic gifts.